Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is still 8.6, part 3 for writing linear equations. And we just have a little bit here. This is the best fit line. This is a little different. This is saying that you may not have exactly a linear equation happening for all these points, but you've got these points that are scattered. It's actually going to be a scattered plot. Oops, let me redo that line. You would have a scattered plot. So maybe this is your X and your Y graph, and you've got points all over, and you can't necessarily collect them, but you're trying to figure out where the best line would go if you could, and that's what we're going to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to draw the line where you have equal pieces on both sides. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so one thing to know is the best fit line does not have to have all the points touch the line. This is different than what we've done. So please note, it does not have to have all the points touch the line. It's simply the line has equal number of points on either side of the line, or as close to equal as possible. One might have 6, one might have 5. That just could be the way it works. The table below shows the number of miles driven after so many hours of driving. So we're going to approximate the equation of the best fitting line. So if I drive 0 hours, I've driven 0 miles. If I drive 1 hour, I've driven 50 miles. 2 hours, I've driven 105. 3 hours, I've driven 147. 4 hours, I've driven 198. We're approximating. So we can see if I'm at 0 for x and 0 at y, that my linear equation is going to actually have a y-intercept of 0, and actually an x-intercept of 0, which means it goes through the origin. Oh, that doesn't even look like I wrote origin there. We'll pretend that that's what it said. Okay, so I can see that I'm not adding anything. Because I'm adding 0, which changes nothing. For 1 hour, I'm going 50. So if I have 50 and I'm driving 1 hour, what does m have to be? Well, m has to be 50, right? So if I'm driving 2 hours and I'm getting to be 105 miles, what is the approximate value of m? It's 50. So my equation is going to be y equals 50 times x. This again is a direct variation. Please notice it's a multiplication of slope to x to find y. Direct variations are like this where they have no plus, it would be plus 0. So it's a direct impact of whatever the m slope is times x would give you y. Now, if we check, we say 4 times 50 is 200. That is approximate. Notice that word, 200, 198. They're approximate. Okay, let me go ahead and extend the page a little, maybe. Okay, there it goes. So we want to predict the numbers of miles driven after 8 hours. So what would we predict the numbers to be, the number of miles? You would plug 8 in where you see x, and yes, you should have came up with 400 miles. It's important to note that if I had plugged this in, if I had numbers, I would have had dots all over. Let's see if I can make these a little bigger. Look at that. Okay. And we'll go here. So I would have had like, oh, it's not writing for me. This is not good. Okay. I would have had a point here at 0, 0. I would have had a point at like 150, 2, 105, 3, 147, and 4, 200. And I would have done a line kind of like this. Well, okay, that's not a line, but you know the point. I would try to get a couple points on each side to have the best fit. One last slide. This is really important. Common error. The best fit line should not connect the points to one another. The line of best fit does not need to pass through or even near all the points. It's possible that I will have, you know what, I'm going to do this thing real quick. It's got this cool little feature that I can, okay, and it recognizes the shape I'm trying to. Okay, so this is my x and y. not a very good X and Y, right? But I have some things like this, and I'm going to try to draw a line, and I want it to be kind of close. So I had basically 3 points on this side, I have 3 points on this side. So this would be my best line of fit, even though this one might be way off. Okay, so please come with any questions. Do what I can to help you through this. Thank you very much, and make sure you've got your learning target, your questions, your notes, your definitions, so that when you ask for help, I can say, where's your notes? And you can tell me.